All you have to do is close your eyes and listen.
Welcome to episode 2 of TSGG Chat. I'm Kevin Bork. We've got a great show for you this week. We will be discussing Red Dead Redemption 2, the new trailer that just came out, along with what we're hopeful in the game. The PS blog report for the God of War sales. And it's David Cage month over at Sony. They have Beyond Two Souls for PS Plus, along with Detroit Become Human coming out on the 25th. And then finally, we're going to talk a little bit about Vampyr, the new IP from Don't Nod, the makers of Life is Strange. But first, make sure you head over to tsgg.online and become a member of the group. You're going to be kept up to date with our newsletter, and you also get a nice welcome gift. And best of all, it's completely free. So check that out today. Also, follow us on Twitter at TheSochGG and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Now, in order to get the show started, let's meet our panel. Tonight, we've got Jake, Brett, and Brennon. Thanks for being here. How's everybody doing?
Not too bad. How about yourself, Kevin?
Not bad.
Doing well?
Good.
Doing fantastic.
Awesome. From last week to this week, what have you guys been playing?
Just a whole bunch of Overwatch with all of the broken fun characters in the game. It's a whole lot of fun. Everybody should be playing Brigitte because she can't die, so enjoy that, guys.
So much fucking salt.
I know, it sounds like it.
A lot of salt for Bridget, guys. Brigitte.
She looks really cool, though, I'm not going to lie.
She can't be killed.
She cannot.
Enjoy.
I want to play her so
forced
bad.
Tim the Tap Man to stop streaming, guys. So
Is that why he stopped?
several things.
There's
I
just
believe.
no balance to the
Is it
game
just
anymore.
Fortnite? It's just Fortnite.
He
just-
is streaming Fortnite
He's also
now. but
tripled his viewership since streaming Fortnite, so it could be that as well. But
Wow, that's insane. How? I don't understand it.
I don't know.
Now you guys know
Save our
what to stream
disdain
now.
for battle royales for the future episodes.
Man, yeah, they're coming.
It's going to be a world of battle royales. That's going to be
Uh.
just awful.
At E3 this year, there's going to be
Oh my,
6 to 7.
probably, I would say that,
that's
yeah.
insane.
And you're gonna have other companies, like it's rumored that Black Ops 4 is gonna have a battle royale
Yeah.
mode in it. Like they did a leak, I guess, and
Because
They were-
God wasn't already bad enough.
talking about the new zombie mode, but others are like talking about the battle royale mode. So who knows? But let's get started with our topics, and we're gonna start off with Red Dead Redemption 2, the trailer, and what we are hopeful for.
For those of you wondering what Jake and I are playing, the answer is nothing important.
Apparently.
Overwatch only, guys.
Just Overwatch.
Brett is the only important panelist.
Screw you guys.
Yeah,
That
and
is
everyone
true.
else doesn't. It's just
Accurate.
pain.
No, what are you guys playing? What are you playing?
Are we cycling back?
Yeah, he went back. He went back.
Just for you, because you're important. Also,
Yeah, just for you.
You are important.
I am important, guys. Thank you, viewers.
You get your moment.
Well, since I've beaten God of War and I'm waiting on you guys for that.
Maybe that's why I skipped you.
I don't want to hear
that's
your
exactly
saltiness,
why. For everybody listening, that's why.
Because they just won't beat it.
Because that's all we've heard for the past 2 weeks.
Yeah, you
He's
think in
just
2 weeks
rubbing that
they,
in.
could, they could beat the game, maybe. But anyway, since then, playing a little bit of Madden. Not a huge fan of Madden, but it's what I play in between games just because
It's endless.
it's fun to watch the Eagles win Super Bowls.
Shout out to the Eagles for
Winning a
our
Super
first
Bowl.
Super Bowl. We appreciate you guys.
You're the best.
Congrats to the Eagles.
He's a Bucks fan. No one
Anytime
no one
the
appreciates.
Patriots lose, I'm happy.
It's a good day when that happens, that's for sure. But yeah, other than that, just waiting for Detroit Become Human, State of Decay, a couple of other games to come out. So
Are you excited about State of Decay?
I'm extremely excited about State of Decay.
I hear about it every day.
It's one of the only zombie games I actually enjoy because it focuses more on survival rather than mowing down hordes of endless zombies.
Oh, yeah?
Shout out Dead Island.
Which
We appreciate you.
Dead Island, Dead Rising, the whole.
That's
lot
what
of them.
those are all about, really.
Right.
Just mowing down hordes.
I've never played a State of Decay game, so what's it all about?
Well, the main focus is keeping your people alive, because you can play every character in your home base, but if they die, it's permadeath. So you can have a max level character you take out too long, because you have a stamina gauge, an eating gauge, all that stuff, and then you get him torn to pieces by a zombie because you didn't go back to base. And then you just have a bunch of scrubs.
So is it like
Also
a
known as-
tactical game, or are you actually playing as these characters?
You're actually playing as them. You're going out into the world.
You
You're
select them, and then you
Right.
go out. And then what? You're just like collecting items and stuff, trying to
Oh, you need
survive.
food, you need medicine, and you need building materials.
Well, this was in the last one as well. We don't
Right,
know what's
I don't
coming
know
in
what's
this one.
coming up next, and I haven't watched any videos on it.
Is that
because I
something
wanna
we're
keep
gonna
the,
see at E3?
No, it comes out the
Yeah.
22nd of May.
Yeah.
Oh, it's coming out,
Yes.
and that's a Xbox only game.
No, I'm pretty sure they're both. I don't think they're.
It may be an exclusive. I'm not positive on that. I've always only played it on the Xbox, but
For everybody listening, Jake is currently Googling very quickly. You will know the answer soon.
I'm gonna say it's Xbox.
I believe it is.
I think it
Probably
is too.
Xbox
I've never
and
heard of
PC.
it, so
I think you're absolutely right.
And
But we're gonna
Microsoft
find
and
out in like
Windows and all that.
absolute. Yep,
Right.
Xbox and Microsoft Windows.
yeah. So that's
$30
I mean, that's
now.
what they did. $30. That's
Yeah,
it.
It's never a full price game.
Yeah.
Is that the whole game? You just survive?
Well, no, there's a story mode.
There's a story.
There is a story mode.
I was
In
thinking
the
about
first
getting it
one,
myself.
It was escaping a quarantine town. Like I said, I haven't watched anything about the second, so I'm not really sure the story there.
Are you guys? So you're getting this game,
Yes.
or maybe you guys want to do that as one of our group play series? You want to do State of Decay too?
I mean, I'm open to it.
Yeah,
It's not multiplayer, but
No, we'll just
I'll play it.
yeah,
Gotcha.
we'll just take
Record
turns,
and-
whatever.
record and play.
Discuss. Yeah, yeah.
That's what the group play series is all about. And if you guys want to take a look at our series, head over to patreon.com/TSGG and you can check it out there.
And there will be a review upcoming of State of Decay 2 on tsgg.online. Feel free to check it out after the 23rd of May.
Sweet.
Some walkthroughs for you guys, probably exploits, maybe whatever we can find for you.
My man, what is up with these walkthroughs? Where's the one from episode 1 that you said you were going to do?
I'm gonna make sure nobody asked for it because the website hasn't launched yet. So,
Well,
By the time you're hearing
by the time
this,
they're
it
hearing
will be
this,
launched.
It will have been launched.
then you guys will have that walkthrough immediately, just for you.
These are probably voodoo lies, and I apologize for when you hear these.
Voodoo lies, he
Voodoo
says.
what would you call that?
Pre-recorded lies?
Pre-recorded lies.
Magic.
Clearly.
Jake, what have you been playing?
God of War. And, Cooney's in the back burner because I've been trying to finish God of War because I was told it was a 20-hour game, and I've apparently
He's
Put-
bad.
I put a lot more than 20 hours in it.
I believe in the last episode I said it was a 40-hour game if you try and do all the content. And like I said, I've only 94% of it, so it's probably longer.
Yeah, I recalled you saying it was around 20 for the story,
Right.
and then double that for the
I've
rest
been-
of the world.
I've been going around, my guy.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, there's no reason not to.
right.
Speaking of God of War, that's going to be our second topic tonight. So before we get into that, let's talk about our first one, which is Red Dead Redemption 2's new trailer, number 3, and something from Rockstar that everybody knows by now is that they take their sweet ass time showing us stuff. They don't really go to the E3s and the PAXs and all these other trade shows and show off their games because, frankly, they don't have to. Because you know what you're getting out of a Rockstar game, and everybody is okay with waiting until it comes out. Like, this game got pushed back, I think, 2 or 3 times, and nobody gives a shit because when it comes out, it's going to be,
Game of the Year contender, for sure.
oh, absolutely, without a doubt.
Just like
so-
every other Rockstar game.
Yeah, every year.
Yeah. So my point is they make gems. So when it does come out, we're all ready for it, and so the rest of the world will be as well. However, they do give us little glimpses into the games here and there, and they gave us one last week, and it was fantastic. They-
Cinematic, but
was-
fantastic.
Yeah, it was very cinematic, and I was trying to picture or pick out the parts that were gameplay.
Maybe gameplay or cinematics that were in the game.
Yeah.
I believe when they were holding up the train, I think that was actual gameplay, like in a cinematic setting, like maybe an opener to the game
You think
where
it
they
was
were
like-
walking up on the train.
Yeah, like pre-rendered and
Because
shit.
that's pretty common with the Red Dead franchise up
Yeah.
to this point.
Mm-hmm.
fits the theme of it. Yeah. To me, where we are right now in this generation, it doesn't look bad at all. It looks incredible. The lighting in there, it's coming over the mountains, and the lighting that they have at the campfires that are reflecting off the group's faces and stuff is fantastic. Some of the mouth movement is a little wonky, but
Shout out BioWare, Andromeda.
oh no, don't shout them out.
It's nothing like Andromeda. It's
Point
not-
them out.
It's
Yeah.
not, it's not a horror show.
Oh no,
Yeah.
that was.
Definitely,
It's
understand.
definitely acceptable. I'm not. That's
Right.
if I have a negative, that's what it is,
Mhm.
and it's not bad.
right.
So-
Also, bear in mind with that, it doesn't release until October, so they very
26th.
well could be better
So it's
than
right
that.
at the end of
Yeah,
October,
like
too.
they're not. This isn't polished. It's a
Right,
work in
right.
progress. So all of the negatives I have will most likely be removed. But the first one came out on PS3 and Xbox 360, and it was a massive open world
Mhm.
game. And this one, they're saying is double the size, which is what you would expect being on the newer
Right.
generations or this generation.
8 years ago, by the
I
way.
mean, as far as Red Dead and
What?
Skyrim, those are the open world games that I can even think of on Xbox 360 and PS3.
Well, the big ones, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
the-
Those were the
So as far as that goes, it was kind of I don't want to say like a game changer for the gaming industry, but Red Dead was massive. You had constant side quests and things like that there was just so much to do. I remember all the hunts and things like that they added to the game and that were
Yeah.
all part of it. That there's so much to do, and this is 8 years ago on the new console. I can't even imagine everything we're gonna get out of it. I'm definitely thinking. I mean, it's Rockstar game. GTA 5 is still a top 10 selling game, and it's, what,
Still.
2 years old now? A year and a half?
oh no,
Three?
that's
yeah,
that
it's-
game's that game came out on the last gen.
360.
Insane.
Yeah. It's the number one selling video game of all time.
And I mean, anything from Rockstar, you know, it's gonna be, it's gonna be a good game. So as far as the just genre that they're hitting, the Western genre is not a heavily hit market. It's an open world game. There are so many aspects of it that I definitely think, as far as that goes, God of War and Red Dead probably my top 2 picks for Game of the Year contenders.
Yeah, I think it's going to be head to head.
Yeah, it'll be. Just
It's gonna be
based on what
head-to-head.
we've seen and how
Um,
be God of War.
It's going to be difficult to beat God of War.
Near impossible, in my opinion.
I'm not saying it can't be done.
Visually, even just God of War
I
is
mean,
beautiful.
God of War is
but-
prettier than the real world. So.
God of
Just
War
experience it.
is the prettiest game I have seen on PlayStation 4. Prior to God of War, it was Horizon
I
Zero
was going to
Dawn.
mention Horizon.
But
Definitely an honorable
this
mention
one,
for Horizon Zero
Man,
Dawn.
God of War is just so photorealistic. And the way that they did the faces and everything, that's why
I mean, they were motion captured for Kratos, right?
they motion
Kratos and
captured
Atreus.
everybody. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
All the characters. That's why the lip movements and the mouth movements are all accurate.
Right.
And that's why I had a concern for Red Dead, because playing God of War, I'm seeing this.
What it
And I'm-
can be, yeah.
Yeah, I'm wondering why this isn't standard. Like, I think it was on PS3, LA Noire. They created this technology for the video games to be able to have, because they used their facial interrogation stuff.
Mhm.
And so that was the first game that had actual one-to-one lip and mouth movement. So I figured when we went to the next gen, that was going to be standard for all games, and it never translated. It just didn't. And I also thought we were going to have a standard 60 frames as well, and that didn't happen either.
We all thought that.
I'm pretty sure next gen is going to be standard
It has
60
to.
4K.
At this
All
point,
of
with the Xbox One X or the Xbox One X Scorpio, whatever you want to, whichever edition you got, I guess, of it, and the PS4 Pro being 60, the next gen has to be 60 FPS. It doesn't make sense to not have it that way.
Well, the
They should've called
Pro,
it
the
Scorpio.
Pro doesn't do native
That's not
4K.
native 4K.
It's checkerboarding. So the X
It's
does do
native.
native, and it's 60 frames.
It's beautiful, guys.
So it is a much more powerful machine. So I don't see them jumping to 120 because it just doesn't translate well to the living room. It's great for PC and mouse movement, but on a controller, 120 is just way too fast.
Yep.
And so 60, I think, is going to be the standard on the next gen. They target 30. They've been targeting 30 for years because
Yeah.
it's more of a cinematic style, but it was really more of a limitation of the hardware. So they're definitely, in my opinion, it's going to be 60 frames, 4K native, with future proofing. So
Right.
The thing with the facial, right, like the design
Yeah.
and the expressions,
Mhm.
I think that was more of a time, effort, and revenue thing being avoided.
yeah,
Because if you watch the videos on like God of War's behind the scenes, I can't imagine how many retakes they had to do, how much effort those actors had to
yeah.
go through.
that's a full on production. That's what it is.
Yeah.
And like Naughty Dog with The Last of Us, they did the same thing. They had them all
Great game.
act out all the scenes in a studio. They had a mocap, they had green screens, they did it all that way. And that game was fantastic too. Like the storytelling, that was probably the most cinematic game I had ever played until God of War, the new one,
Right.
obviously on PS4.
Chapter 2 of that's coming out soon, isn't it? The Last of Us.
The Last of Us Part 2, yeah, that's going to be big at E3 as
E3.
well. That'll be on the Sony
think so?
stage for sure. See, they have a problem right now because they have two games that are basically the same thing, or what they've shown is basically the same thing. The Last of Us Part 2 and the other one, do you remember what the other one was?
Days
Jake?
Gone.
Days Gone. Yeah, that's what it is. Days Gone. We've only seen 3 gameplay trailers of Days Gone, and they look like they're in the Last of Us world. I think it was PSX last year. They showed a trailer for The Last of Us, or maybe it might have been E3. I'm not sure which one. I'm foggy on that, but they played the trailer, and it's of a woman, and she was like getting hung, and it was brutal. I think it was E3 that they did this, and it was very visceral, and it was shocking to see that type of trailer because of the audience that watches E3.
Right.
So you don't expect that they're going to show that kind of gore and stuff in a trailer, but they did. But while it's rolling, you're not sure if it's The Last of Us Part 2 or if it's Days Gone, because the characters that are on screen are all brand new, and you can't relate to any of them, and you don't know because both settings are basically the same. So it turned out to be Last of Us 2, and they didn't show Days Gone then, and at PSX, it was E3, because at PSX we figured we'd see Days Gone, and you didn't see anything. So Days Gone has been in the dark for quite some time now. So, and then the release date got pushed back too. So we don't really know where they're at with that game right now. We don't even know if it's going to come out. So I'm expecting that we're going to see that at E3 this year in some form, or at least a mention of it.
Hopefully.
Otherwise, it could be scrapped, and that would be unfortunate, but it happens.
The thing with Days Gone is The Last of Us wasn't so much a horde zombie game. It was more of a sneaking around, killing clickers and whatnot. Days Gone is much more of the mow-down hordes of zombies.
Yeah, it is
It's
more.
another one
it's
I
more
would
like
throw
that.
in that category. More realistic than, say, Dead Rising, but same vein of
Still that
massive
style, yeah.
hordes.
Yeah, because that one barn scene, he's just mowing
There
them
were
down.
thousands.
They're just running
right,
at him.
And he just
And then
had,
there was
like,
the
endless
other one in
machine gun
the-
rounds.
Right.
Yeah.
And the craziest part of those style games is to one up each other, they just try and like grow
More
the hordes.
zombies.
It's like, okay, you guys have a horde, but look at our horde. There's
Yeah.
thousands in our
And
horde.
they get faster.
Yeah.
and
Besides the emotional attachment in The Last of Us, I think their fighting style was much better as well, with the zombies and the humans. Just because they never threw like 10,000 zombies on your screen chasing you around.
Yeah, that helped with the realism of it, being able to have smaller group fighting, and it was more realistic. And just, if you haven't played The Last of Us, you need to go do that
Do it.
immediately.
Probably one of the best games I've ever played, honestly.
Yeah, I don't have any negatives for that game at all.
No, I kind of, the only thing I could say that was a negative, I mean, even if it wasn't really a negative, is I wish there was a choice at the end.
We're not going to get into that.
Is,
No
is
spoiler cast.
part 2 about Joel and Ellie, or
They are, yeah. It's still them.
good?
Yes.
The very first
That means
trailer,
anything.
Ellie was a little bit older,
Oh, yeah.
and she's playing the guitar. And I don't think you see Joel, but you hear him.
Yep.
And he sounds older.
Yep.
So time has passed.
Yep. But then again, Joel's in his,
Old to begin with.
He
he's in
yeah,
his,
he was-
he's in
he
his,
was
he's
up
at
there.
least in his mid-40s.
Yeah, he was in his 40s in The Last of Us Part 1.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say maybe 6 to 7 years
Yeah.
passed.
Because you got to do the math. His daughter was 12 years old,
Yeah.
pretty sure. So, I
Yeah.
mean,
And
So
there
not
was
that much time,
years
but
after when
some
you
time
Right,
has
actually
passed.
play the
exactly.
game.
She's a little bit older. But the trailer at E3, I don't think they actually came out and said what it was, but the rumor was that the woman that was being hanged, and she ended up getting free and killing the cultists. The rumor is that is Ellie's mom. Before she had Ellie, it was like a time skip thing. But that was a rumor. I don't know if that was accurate or not.
Right.
But anyway, back to Red Dead. What are you guys hopeful about in this game? What do you guys want in this game?
My biggest thing, I just hope they maintain what Red Dead Redemption was. I mean, as far as the story, I think the story will be excellent because it's a Rockstar game and it always is. But as far as everything else that you can do, side quests, hunts, things like that, I hope they maintain that because that made the game a lot of fun. Where that you, I think there was a unicorn hunt. There was
That was in the zombie edition. In the original game, like the not without the add-ons, there was like the sharpshooters challenges and the legendary score, which I hope they keep because you could. There's an honor system as well on top of that. It was just so good, especially for its time. But yeah, I feel like the legendary creatures and the horses you could tame, like the War's horse and Death's horse and all that, that was all in the Dead.
Undead Nightmare,
Yep, that version.
which was really cool in its own right.
Yeah, absolutely. So I hope they maintain all of those cool aspects of the game that really make it. They take it from a story-driven, like really enjoyable Western to one of the top games that you can play because there's so much to do on top of it being a really, really good time.
One thing I don't hope they go too far into is trying to make it another GTA Online. The thing with Red Dead, it's always been a single player. So if they do change that, I just want it to be done well.
that's going to happen.
I'm going to tell you right now,
was gonna
Of course
say.
it's gonna happen 'cause it grosses
Red
so
Dead
much money.
Online is happening.
Yeah.
It is totally happening. Like, look at the success GTA,
GTA.
Online is having.
The thing is,
And-
I don't know if the setting will translate as well.
I think
With
it will. If they do it
I'd
right.
love to rob some carriages. You're not.
That's what I'm
wrong
saying.
See, that would be a lot of fun as long as they, like you're saying, as long as they maintain the Western feel of it. Like
Yeah.
if I'm running into people, if I'm crossing the Great Plains and I'm running into online players left and right, I'm gonna be kind of annoyed that, I mean, there's supposed to be thousands of miles of Oklahoma out here, and I've got 47 guys robbing my carriage every 10 steps. It's
Yeah.
gonna be kind of a drag on the game.
Immersion removing.
But wasn't like didn't like Grand Theft Auto Online, didn't they do it where you designed your own character and stuff
Yeah,
like that? So it
it's
kind of
your own
changes the
avatar.
aspects of the world a little bit.
So
So I
you
mean,
create-
they're gonna most likely they're probably going to separate the two.
Yeah.
So-
It'll be completely its own thing. So basically, you'll create your avatar and go out into the wild west.
And I'm pretty
Will
sure
Smith will be
Late
there.
Wild West.
100%,
Early industrial there.
100% PvP, just straight up.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, there's
Get
always that
robbed.
enjoyable aspect of it, of a PvP style, especially in this where you can. It's an old west. Like if I'm holding up a stagecoach, like that's gonna be a really fun, cool experience for me. But what I mean is like what Brennan's saying as far as the immersion of it, it's still the Wild West.
Yep.
There weren't a lot of people.
Yeah. And they're going to do like special events and stuff like that. Hunts.
I'm shooting you all with buffalo rifles, just so you're aware.
Yeah, I mean,
Every viewer out there.
could you imagine, like, just go and take a town?
That would be awesome.
With your squad.
Yeah, you squad up. Your
Squad
gang,
goals.
It'll be gangs.
Right,
And
naturally.
you go and take your gang and just take a town. What, Jake, what do you you haven't
call it
played
brothel.
Red Dead, so what would be something you're hopeful about for
Our
this game? What do you
brothel was the
want
same
in a
thing
Western?
back then.
That's what I
Well,
called it.
honestly,
What
like,
would draw you in to play this Western?
oh, jeez, I actually would want something multiplayer, like something where we could all play together, because that's the kind of game that I'd want to play. Like, if I'm gonna play cops and robbers, I want to have my robber buddy with me. Like,
Now, did you say you weren't interested in cowboys as a child?
not really, no.
Well,
You're an odd fella.
we were children more so than
That's true.
he
Jake was older. at
We're a
the
little
time.
bit younger than Jake for our audience out there. So we, Brennon and I,
I was like 10 playing Red
yeah,
Dead
we
Redemption.
were
Probably shouldn't have been.
cops and robbers age. still
Definitely
a
should
little
not have
bit.
been.
Maybe that's why I hurt so much what happened.
Maybe.
Poor John.
You weren't ready.
No spoilers, even though it's a 10-year-old game.
So we
Yeah.
were a little bit younger. So I suppose that as far as the Western cops and robbers thing, I can definitely understand where Jake would be coming from. But and I actually completely agree the way you put it with the cops and robbers. It would definitely be a lot more fun to have your buddies out there
I agree.
robbing stage.
I think it'd be fun.
And kind of
Squadding
planning
up
ambushes
and
things like that. That would be very enjoyable. So I do agree with that aspect.
So I mean, if they give me that type of feeling where I can have people come in and out, that'd be all right. I don't mind the single player aspects of video games, but with a game like that where it's so expansive, I figured having people around you would be awesome.
Yeah, it probably would be awesome. Did you say what you're most hopeful for in this game, Brennan?
I did not, but
What is it?
essentially just sticking to its roots. What made the first one so great? Definitely a story-driven game. Characters have to be great.
Yeah.
You really got attached to John Marston in the first one, so I want that same emotional.
I'm curious
Attachment to
how
all three.
attached you're going to be to John still in this one. You know what I mean? Because they said he's going to be a main character of your gang. So is it
Well,
going to be weird for us playing alongside of the guy that we were in the other game?
playing the
knowing,
first?
knowing how it finishes.
You know he wasn't a good guy in his past, so
No.
I expect him to be pretty savage in this game.
Yeah, they were pretty clear on you are not good in this game.
Hence the redemption in the title, perhaps.
Yeah. So for me, it's pretty basic. All I want to do is play poker and drink whiskey.
Do you think
And
that draws-
be the Wild West.
since
Such a great setting.
since I know the,
Oh,
I know the ending. I mean, I've heard enough about it. Do you think they'll run the same type of ending?
Honestly, I don't think they'll duplicate it.
Depends
but-
on where the story takes us,
Yeah, like
because we don't know a lot about it yet.
that's the thing. They've been hush on it. So, and there was no Arthur Morgan in Red Dead Redemption.
I'm
He
gonna,
is a new character.
I mean, I'm gonna
So
say
he
this.
very well could have died.
I'm
yeah.
gonna say that as a
He could've
prediction
died,
right now. I'm gonna say
or-
he dies in the game.
Maybe he just left the gang. You don't know.
Right. Because in the
Hence
first Red
redemption.
Dead, the whole
Yeah.
point was to capture or kill the gang members. So if he had left the gang prior, or something happened as far as that goes where he wasn't involved with what happened to John, then it could very well be that you maybe the redemption part does come in here and you as Arthur Morgan leave the gang, and there might be some aspects of that go on in this that could definitely be included.
Right.
So those are our picks for what we're hopeful for in Red Dead Redemption 2. And we'll be right back. Welcome back to TSGG Chat. Our Sepix... Oh, wow. Sepix Prime is here with us now. And he's got some shit to say.
That was a very specific insult, Sepik.
I feel attacked personally, Sepix.
Some mean things about my mom were just said.
Our second topic for today is the PS blog report of the God of War sales so far. Did you guys see this news?
No.
I had not.
Not yet.
The
I'm sure
PS
you're
Blog-
about to show us.
They did a little report and said that God of War has sold over 3.1 million units in 3 days.
So that's gonna beat Monster Hunter, guys.
And it becomes the fastest selling
close for sure.
PlayStation 4 exclusive.
In
So
history.
congratulations to Sony Santa Monica
Wow.
for
That's
making a
incredible.
And
fantastic
the entire
game.
cast of God of War.
Yeah, the entire cast.
Yeah.
Yeah, to all of them, Sony, everybody. They made a masterpiece. It's going to be very difficult to top that for Game of the Year this year. So, yeah, that's incredible news. 3.1 million units in 3 days.
Now just produce some DLC and drop it. Thanks.
You think they will?
I don't think so.
No, it's
Probably
gonna get
not.
DLC?
It's not
It's
a.
going to be a sequel.
It's not a common thing for them. They've never done it, in fact. But it's their first open world game, so there's always hope for it.
So Corey said that he has a plan for 5 or 6 more games.
For what?
Yeah, he said that in an interview
I mean,
recently.
you gotta
Well-
think. We all know Atreus is taking the reins eventually.
Yeah, it's going to happen.
And
And that's okay, because I actually like Atreus.
yeah,
So.
he's a great character.
He's
development through
he's
the
very
game.
different from Kratos, which I think is going to be a really cool aspect of future God of Wars, is the
Yeah.
way they can take his skills and his
Oh, yeah.
abilities. And we've had Kratos now for 5 or 6 games. I mean, I know it's been on PSP and we've had a couple of those, but
It's
um,
always been Kratos, forever.
we've had Kratos, exactly. So we've kind of fleshed out his abilities, and now we've got a new character that we'll be able to hone in on what he can do. He's got a bow, so I mean,
Yeah.
it kind of
We can grow with this character,
right.
and the series can grow.
And we haven't even scratched like the surface of what his abilities could be. He's still just a kid,
Yeah, so
and
it's exciting to hear that they have these plans. So I doubt we'll see anything at E3 this year.
I mean,
No,
they
it's
made
not going to happen.
3.1
Maybe next
million
year,
in
probably the
sales
year
in the
after,
first
for
3
sure.
days. It'd be hard to
Insane.
go and convince your bosses, hey, we're gonna actually stop this franchise now that we made 3.1
I was
million in
just
sales
looking
in
at the exclusives that Xbox One sold, like just to kind of get.
You had to go there.
that's rude.
Just
All right, what is it? What do they got?
so the biggest one. Hold on, let me go back to the list here. Just to kind
Scalebound would have beat it.
Oh man.
Oh,
so this isn't.
so
I'm
disappointed.
I'm
So
saying
guys,
in total.
everybody listening, in the future, we are gonna do a podcast on games that got canceled that you were very excited for. So on tsgg.online, we're definitely going to have that frequently asked questions. I want you to go in there and I want you to post about which games you were really excited for that end up never coming out. You just heard about Scalebound from us. Obviously, the panel was very sad about that.
Hmm.
And
Leave a comment on the site, and the top 10 I'll put as the answer to the frequently asked
We'll
questions.
do the
Give-
top 10 list.
Give,
10.
Yeah.
give us those tear emojis for
Oh, yeah.
Scalebound.
you know, we
Scalebound for sure is
Yikes.
definitely
Gotta be
top
on the
3.
top.
So-
That's-
The total copies sold. Now this doesn't say the quickest. Is Halo 5 for 5 million
Yikes.
total.
It's unfortunate.
Well, when you think, I mean, I'm obviously an Xbox stan here, but when you think about as far as who plays PlayStation, PlayStation and Sony are kind of a worldwide. Xbox is a little bit more
Yeah,
American.
Xbox, they do struggle in overseas markets.
Yeah.
The Japanese, the just kind of the whole actual Asian market,
pretty
Xbox
much cornered by
gets
Sony.
destroyed by Sony.
I heard that Microsoft was thinking about pulling out of Japan because they're just not making any money over there.
I mean, with
They
Nintendo
may have done it by
and
now, I'm
Sony,
not sure.
it's
It
you
makes
can't.
sense.
There's no competition.
I did
You
like
can't.
I did like how Sony literally forced all of them to literally go, hey, by the way, Monster Hunter World's coming out. Looks like you're gonna have to buy a PlayStation 4, huh? Like
Pretty much, yeah. That's what they did.
lots of stuff sold, man.
Yep.
They made a lot of money off of that game. 5
And
million.
then God of War.
I mean, they had
Yeah. And then
And
God of War.
Sony kills it with the exclusives. Being an Xbox guy myself,
Sony is
Scalebound hurt quite a bit.
It hurt big time. Like that Scalebound was my purchasing an Xbox. They canceled that. I don't own one. That was the reason I was going to get one. Fable is also the reason that I would get one. And at E3 this year,
E3, we're gonna hear some more about
we're going to see something about Fable.
Oh my God,
It's
guys,
gonna
Fable
happen.
Could outsell God of War? Probably not.
Doubt it.
If they return to Fable 1, Fable 2,
No, they're
maybe.
doing.
I just
they're
don't
doing-
think that they have the numbers to do it. Like Sony's at the point now they have over 70 million PS4 sold. So
That's a lot.
that's so many. Like
Yeah. For
they have
our-
70 million sold, and it's so when you get 3.1 million
In 3 days.
in 3 days, it's plausible because they have that many units out there. So,
I
and
mean,
it's a fantastic game, so that helps too.
right.
And it's a game that everybody grew up with, so
It just had every market cornered, I guess. And if you look at, as far as Monster Hunter, every week Monster Hunter was rolling out another event because they had so many copies sold. Like you were getting new rewards every week because they hit the 1 million and then they hit 7 million and then they
Oh,
hit
yeah,
9 million.
their
And they
free
would just
gifts,
keep
the
giving
gift
you
packs,
gifts
they
because
kept
there's
coming.
so
Yeah, they
many
did.
selling.
Got
It
like
was insane.
7 gift packs waiting for me.
yeah, that was pretty awesome.
I need to go back to that.
All right, what do you got over there? You smiling?
Oh, I just looked at the exclusive list for PlayStation.
It's just
Uncharted 4 8.7,
man.
Horizon Zero Dawn 7.6,
God of War is gonna crush those.
and the rest
Easily.
are like the rest aren't titles that are exclusive. Like I got The Witcher 3. But I
That's
guess
not, yeah, that's not
to be fair, it's
expensive.
saying the best-selling PlayStation 4 games, not the exclusives.
Oh, it's just overall
That's
the
probably
best
just one of the
games on the
best-selling
genre.
games,
Yeah,
honestly,
Yeah.
is The
Witcher's
Witcher 3.
definitely going to
It's
be
got
up
to
there.
be massive on that.
Oh, yeah.
4.8. So almost
Only
as
on
much as
PlayStation.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's-
just on that,
Just
and then
on
they have
PlayStation.
Xbox,
Xbox
and
PC.
PC.
Yep.
And I was really hopeful that they were going to come to Switch because a friend of mine sent me this fan-made picture of a special edition. And
A
man,
special edition
if-
Switch, Witcher 3 Switch.
Yeah, did you see that thing?
Yeah, I did.
And it
On
came with
Twitter, I actually
collectibles and
saw it.
everything.
Yeah.
Oh, that
That
thing
would've been
looks
sick.
so cool. And I was like, "Is this for real? Because I'm buying this." And he's like, "Nah." And I was like,
Fan art.
"I hate you so
How
much.
dare he?
I mean, there's a lot
How
of
could he do this to
I
me?"
would have blocked that number.
This is
immediately.
actually, if you guys if you pay attention, if you check out the website tsgg.online and check out our videos and stuff, a lot of the stuff we do, a lot of the stuff we're looking at is kind of spreading awareness for a lot of games and things like that. If you guys have any cool fan art or anything like that you come across, we definitely want to see that as well. Like Kevin said, he was really excited about something that his friend sent him that turned out to be fan art. I actually saw a Gundam style Dark Souls type game that a fan did that looked incredible. The basically the Gundams were all worn down and they were the bosses. So it was the worn down giant Gundam, and you were like a person, like a Dark Souls style game. You know how they have the massive bosses. And this fan art, I immediately went to Google and was like, where can I find this game? Is this a real thing? Because it's incredible. So if you guys have any of that, if you're seeing anything like that, definitely send it to us. The email's right on the site. Just check us out.
Do we have a link for them right on the main site that they can just shoot an email?
Yeah, there's a contact us page right down the bottom next
Perfect.
to the subscription,
So look for it there.
as well as a comment section. So if you just want to leave a comment or you want to get in touch with us via email, those options are right down the bottom of our homepage.
Also, if you want to send us an email and if you have questions, we may read them here on the show for you. So send us your questions for the panel. Now, moving on, we have David Cage Month over at Sony, and we have Beyond Two Souls as a PS Plus offering this month, and the other one is Rayman Legends. Neither game I have played, so I can't really go into detail there. Jake actually has played both of them, I believe.
You guys
I've-
should
I played a
see
little bit of
Jake
Rayman,
Smile.
But I played Beyond Two Souls a lot.
Cheshire Cat.
I know
comes
he's
to mind.
played Beyond, and he
I
actually
Can't get
Beyond
enough of it.
got a lot of negative reviews, but Jake loves it, so I'm intrigued. Heavy Rain also got a lot of negative
And that was a fantastic
feedback,
game,
and
so.
I love that game. So this is one that I've been having on my back burner, and now that it's free, why not? But it's not going to be today for me or any day near future because I got God of War to get through, and then
Eventually.
the next
But you
one
can
coming
always-
out is
There's always time between games and everything like that, so
this is true.
you'll find a space.
Well, there's
Oh,
Yeah,
the,
I've-
back,
10
the
days
backlog
until-
is coming, my God.
Backlog, man, the backlog. You got to get to it. And
Especially with our next topic. It's been pushed back a couple times too, but I'm very excited for the next topic, which is Vampyr that we've discussed.
yeah, we're going to get to that shortly. But first, we've got to jump on Detroit Become Human because our own Jake Broadbent spent the time to go through this demo. and he got all of the endings.
All the ones that are known at
6
least.
of the 8.
He got 6 out of 8 endings.
Well, they don't show. If there are 2 more, I want people to show me because for the most part, guys, I haven't. I guess I just did it really quickly, so I guess I didn't see them all. But I did the ones that were actually known throughout the actual chart because they give you a chart of actual actions
Paths.
you could do. So I did all of the paths that are known.
So do you think they're like
There are 2
hidden?
hidden? Or...
If there are 2 hidden, I think one of them is just waiting it out and seeing what happens.
So there is that option where you just do nothing and something may happen.
Yeah, I think so.
Go home
That's a
and do that,
pretty
Jake.
bad negotiating topic.
Yeah.
That's the worst.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
tend to
I'm here to negotiate.
I wouldn't recommend
I'm just
that.
going to look at the
Or
fish over here.
sits.
So it was that one. That's where you're playing as Connor.
You're playing as Connor, yeah.
It's the
The
scene on the
trailer,
rooftop.
right.
He is the
So it's the one we've already seen.
yeah.
So it's nothing new.
Well, technically, with like the commercial that you saw, you only saw one of the endings out of the 6 that they show because there are 8. If there are 8,
Possibly.
someone show me.
Well, at PSX they actually did an onstage demo.
Yeah.
And they had the audience pick the responses, and
Oh.
that's what they played. They played Connor's
That's good.
rooftop scene. So I've actually seen that play out in one form. And in that one, the ending was Connor shot him right in the head, and he went off the roof.
Yeah, that's one of the ones I got.
Great
You got that one?
There are the 6 ones that. So the whole point, really, real quick, is you're playing as Connor, an 800 series Android, which I'm assuming there's a whole bunch of series.
799 ahead of him, actually.
Yeah.
Or behind him.
Behind him, sorry. Yeah.
Before Jake goes any further, though, I have seen another trailer where you were playing as someone completely different than Connor. So I'm not sure if you're stuck in that role, if you
I don't-
choose your own
No.
role, or how they're
No,
You're
I
going to be
that out.
playing 3 characters.
There's the answer.
You're going to be playing Connor. I should know this. I've seen enough about
Should.
this game. Yeah, you're
I've
playing
seen enough.
as there's the other trailer. Her name starts with a K. I'm pretty sure
You play the girl? I thought you played the guy.
you do, and there's 3. You play Connor, the one guy for like the Revolution,
Right.
and then you play the girl. And in that one, it was it was a domestic dispute going on in the home, and it was like an abusive father, and that one actually got a lot of negative feedback because they're showing domestic violence.
Oh
And
no,
domestic
reality
violence
in a
in
video
video
game.
games.
Singing
Yeah.
everything.
Not reality.
To me, the way that they were showing it was in a good way. They're showing
bring it.
you how awful domestic violence is,
Right.
and
There's
the
no
choices you
glorification
should
of it.
make.
Oh, a wake
It's
up
not
call and
glorif-
awareness.
Yeah, it's awareness,
Right.
and just
Which
people
is
were like,
vital to
I don't want
prevention,
domestic violence in my video games, but what are you going to do?
Well, the biggest thing that I think, just my take on that would be, Detroit Become Human is a very, it's not. I mean, I can't say reality because there's androids and everything like that with feelings, but it's based.
Your
it's-
blender has feelings, guys.
It's
Keep that in
it's a home style game basically. Like you're in this time, it's reality. It's this world's reality basically. So domestic violence is a sad reality of our basically
Existence.
planet, and if they want to aim for that, I think they absolutely should show it, and to show it in the way that we're discussing, where they're not glorifying it, they're showing how bad it can be. I think it's absolutely
bad
it's
it
vital.
is.
It's
How
excellent.
bad it is, yeah, it's just awful. So, yeah, so you're going to be playing as all 3 of those characters. I was curious if we were going to get more or not. It's leaning more towards, well, I haven't played Beyond, but I heard that was more of like a 2-character experience.
Well, technically, with Beyond, you play as if you just played it like solo, you play as the main character throughout the whole entire story. And then if you decide to play with another person, you played the soul, which was a part of it.
So that was like a co-op thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is more along the lines of Heavy Rain, where you're
All through your
jumping
phone.
between characters.
Yeah.
It's through an app or something?
Yeah, it's a PlayStation app. You just
Huh.
play it through the app. You play the soul, and you could actually
PlayStation?
Interesting.
on your phone. It's okay. So you, as the soul on the phone, you
That's
could.
why it got bad review.
It's really good. And I thought it was a really good
Did you
game.
play it solo or duo?
I played both.
Which
Interesting.
did
Just
you
to-
prefer?
I preferred because the
And that's how Jake's iPhone
The-
was destroyed.
the duo is so like if you're playing with somebody who just wants to troll you, they're gonna troll you
Oh,
because
yeah.
they're gonna be like, well, I want to throw this everywhere, and you're like, just could you not? Like,
So is it more
Another
immersive
reason
to play
for
solo?
reviews.
I think it is. Yeah.
Yeah. So this one is definitely more along the lines of Heavy Rain then. So you're going to be, I don't know how often you're going to switch back and forth, but I'm pretty much assuming that they're all going to come together at some point, and their stories are going to intertwine somehow.
Oh, for sure.
Heavy Rain had a nice balance between that.
It did.
so-
It really did.
Well-
And it had a hell of a twist.
Yeah, for sure. And I've actually never played the game. Just watched the whole playthrough on YouTube.
Such a good game.
It's so good. I didn't have a PlayStation.
The voice
at the
acting
time,
was
so
atrocious, but
when
other
he
than
did,
that,
it was,
it was a fantastic game. You can't take away from what it was because
story
of
was terrific.
the voice acting. I mean, they hired French actors and stuff, and it just
It
didn't.
happens.
It's what they had for a budget, you know. That's
Right.
what they had.
What I got so far with like because the demo really honestly, if you just wanted to play it, it's probably 10 minutes of time, but playing it over and over again, it's going to give you about
For each ending.
Yeah, you're gonna take about an hour spending to learn as much as you can. Now your character Connor, they have a little like thing on the top right where it says anomaly detected or something like that, where you do something that's out of a character of an android. So like, even as you're playing the demo, like for example, in the beginning of the game, there's a fish that's on the floor, and you could choose to pick up the fish and put it back in the water. And of course, your brain, like, you'll instantly get a little thing on the top that says that's not what you're supposed to do. Like, you should just left it there.
So you're supposed to just do your job
Do your job.
and not
Deviate.
do humane
That's a-
things.
That's a deviation. Yeah.
Okay.
It's, for example, another thing is like in one scene I could pick up a gun that's hidden underneath the table. Of course, it's going to be like, yeah, don't do that. That's a gun. So like, it's weird to see like how the gameplay is literally telling you throughout every choice that you make. If you choose the not android choice, you're choosing as a person. Like your android is exhibiting feelings.
So with that, Connor is going to have really like two different play variations. He's
Yeah.
going to have the straight what he's supposed to be android.
Uh-huh.
See, that's what I was thinking. He was the straight up android, and then the revolution androids were happening, and I thought that they were going to have a confrontation. So I'm visioning that you're probably going to have that, and then also if you deviate, he may end up joining with them.
Right.
How would that'd be
It'd
pretty
be very
pretty
interesting
cool.
if they had the Fable 1 style, you know, how you could be evil or good. And if it was, okay, so if, like you're saying, where you deviate, and if I'm constantly deviating, I'm doing everything different,
Yeah.
non-Android,
Yeah.
and then I can choose, because of that, I can choose to join the revolution or something like that. That'd be a very interesting aspect. Or if you're straight and narrow and you do everything how an android should, and then when confronted with maybe the choice of joining the revolution or something like that, because I've always been on the straight and narrow, it's not given to me, or
Right.
it's
Because
something you kind of have to uncover. That'd be an excellent aspect to see in the game. It would be very cool. It would really add to replayability, which is a big thing I have to look at any game, because you're eventually going to beat a game. So if I'm going to pay $60 for a game, I want to be able to play it after I beat it.
right.
And if I've got different paths I can take in a game, that's a huge help for that.
I think
Well,
that's
The way that game's set up, it's almost a guaranteed. I mean, everything's about choice.
I agree.
So there's got to be like probably 20 plus endings,
I
since
agree.
there's just so
So-
many stories intertwining.
Right.
This is the major differences between this one and Heavy Rain, where the choices in Heavy Rain had consequences that were final.
I think this
And
is because this one
they want you to. So when you
Kind of
get an ending,
experiment.
do you have to restart the whole thing to get another one, or do you go
You-
back in time?
you-
Do you like rewind or anything?
well, this is, to be fair, this is only one scene, so literally
Right.
you
Yeah,
start.
it's demo.
They bring you right back to as soon as you meet, like, you meet the sergeant on the scene, basically the commanding officer. You meet him once, and then after that you restart and you can do all the investigation parts. So you learn as much as you can about the scene as you go.
Now,
So
does it show like a rewind effect whenever you finish one, or is it just kind of reload?
it just reloads.
Yeah,
The
that
only
might just
thing.
be the demo.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
it's
could
just a
be.
demo. So in the gameplay, though, like let's say if I was investigating stuff, you could actually he pieces together in his brain what happened in the story.
Android brain.
His
Yeah.
fluid
His
that's in
circuits.
his head.
The fluid.
Well, actually,
Blue.
I'm fairly certain that they're built to be.
Emulate humans.
Yeah. The only thing the difference is that you
That
can.
is an Android, yes. Good call.
Anyways. So
There's
like
some dark salt in that laugh.
A little bit.
so you're driving with me tonight. So the thing about Connor is like every time that you do something, no one really notates anything different. Like you can even turn off the stove that they were cooking. You know, they were cooking food that night, and like each part that you learn throughout the story increases your probability of saving the hostage. So everything that you do, you increase your chances of saving her. And I think that the only endings that I could miss is probably the one where you wait it out, where you just sit there and say, "Screw this shit! I'm just gonna sit here.
See what happens.
I'm gonna go get some popcorn," and then
Can you leave the apartment?
you cannot.
Turn around and walk out? No?
No, they won't let you.
Can you running leap off the building?
You can do that. I mean, to be
Did you
fair,
do
Does it give you an ending?
well, no, because the leaping off the building, the only chance that you have for that is literally just running and leaping off the building and sacrificing yourself.
Tackling him.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
I just want to leap off the
Because
building.
there's two tackle endings. One
Don't care
one
about
is
the hostage.
one
You're
is
gonna
where.
negotiate. Nope.
Oh yeah, I
Drive
like.
to this place.
Well, there's a scene where if you learn the other android's name, his name is Daniel, 600 series. They were going to order a 700 series to replace him. That's
that
why
why
he
he
went.
went nuts?
So
That's
went
why he
crazy.
went nuts, because he's like, I thought I was part of the family, and I thought I was
Oh,
something
okay.
special. So
That's interesting. I like
Now,
that.
That's a good aspect.
At this
I like
point, are the androids supposed to feel feelings like that, or
I
are they
think-
just developing it?
I think that I don't know, because for the most part, I'm assuming that they have base emotions, like a baseline.
What I
I'm-
saw from the revolutionary Android
Yeah,
saga thing was that they want to be treated as humans.
exactly.
They no longer want to be treated as
So
objects.
it could be that they were initially designed with some
Bad
kind of
they are.
some kind of
They are.
artificial intelligence that was kind of a baseline, like you're saying, and then they kind of developed from there.
Close
Yeah.
ties to the Geth from Mass Effect.
I think that's what
So
happens.
it could be something along those lines.
I agree.
absolutely.
I think it's a baseline you start off with, and then your emotions start to grow. So they give you like, for example, Daniel, excuse me, not Andrew, whoever Andrew is. Hi, Andrew. Thanks
Shout
for
out to
watching.
you, Andrew.
All Andrews listening,
You're
Jake
special
wants
now.
to give you a special shout out.
Hashtag hi, Andrew. Anyway, so Daniel, you see the progression of who he is, and then you actually like when you see him like communicate with somebody, because you actually get to see a scene where he's with the daughter, and like they seem relatively happy with each other. Like,
Right.
so I think he starts off normal, and then obviously I think he just grows more emotions, and then when he feels like he's going to get replaced, he gets threatened, and then he pulls the gun out of his the father's like little hidden box and pops him 3 times, and then proceeds to grab the girl as a hostage. And
Do you ever get to see him pop?
yeah, you rewind that scene, so
Oh, you do.
you see the father on the floor, bloody and dead, and then you're like, okay, so 3 gunshots, and his name is the father, whatever his name is, Joseph from Far Cry 5.
And is that only if you investigate?
Only if you investigate. You could literally, like I said, there's one
miss
ending where I could literally just forget everything around me and walk right through to the end, and just go right through and talk to Daniel and say, hey, my name's Connor, what's your name? There's a scene where if you know Daniel's name, you could say, hi, Daniel, I'm Connor. So,
Nothing to put.
There was a question asked to the development team, and that question was, how many endings are there? And their answer was, we don't know. How do
For-
they not know?
for the
how
demo?
many- no, in the game. In the final
When
game.
was it asked?
Well,
It was
when you-
asked 2 weeks ago.
when you
Maybe
think
they're
about
still
it.
working
So
on
think
endings.
about how many.
No, they said with the
choices
with
you
the
make.
possibilities, they just don't know.
So there's
So
three.
how do they
3
set up
characters.
the endings?
We'll do some math here. There's 3 characters. Think about how many choices each character has to make.
Let's say
if-
200.
If each choice has some sort of effect on what each character is going to do, and each character can have a different ending, and each character can affect each other character's ending, that's a lot of endings
Yeah,
that you're bringing up right now.
imagine if you bring out there's like a positive, a negative, and a neutral statement for each character doing those
Right.
certain actions. You're talking
hundreds.
a lot of
I
math.
said 20. That was probably very conservative.
So if they're saying
Yeah.
they don't know, it could be some sort of development where, I mean, if you think about it, lots of games in the past have claimed like what was the Lord of the Rings one, the rival system, Nemesis system, where basically it was random. You could kill a guy and he could come back 3 days later.
9 to
You're
6
fighting
times.
and he's this guy. You see the same guy and it's the 6th time you've killed him. So it could be something along those lines where it could actually, the game itself could determine what your ending is going to be, and so as far as the devs are concerned, they don't know what ending you're going to get because there's so many things going into effect that
Yeah. All of the choices you made
Yeah,
throughout the
and
entire
assume-
game
On
are
3
going to
separate
get you
characters.
And
that ending.
I assume just by how many like the games that I played from Quantic Dream,
Yeah.
there's going to be a lot of quickie time events, and there's going to be some of those where it's going to be you're going to be dead from not clicking the right thing. So
It
So
happens.
if you're missing those God of War quick time events, here you go.
time to get back into the practice, folks.
So we don't know how many endings there are, but we're going to find out on May 25th. And look forward to a future podcast episode that's going to...
Discuss the 747 endings each panelist has discovered as we completed the game.
Yeah, you'll have to wait for a while on that one, folks.
We'll play
is
it,
a lot of
and we're going to
endings.
give you guys
Well, I'll try it.
in-depth review.
We'll strive to get different endings too, different choices. All that
I don't think
stuff.
we're going to have to try.
That's true.
That's accurate.
I think we're just gonna I think this is going to be a
Personality-based.
really
It'll
fun
be an
game.
interesting
Yeah,
little
it's
test there.
a
for
It's
us.
going to be
psychological
a
test from each of
psychological
us.
test is what it really is.
And age, because Kevin's 55 and I'm 22.
He's
Wow.
like 78 at least.
Easily 75.
He makes father time look young.
Oh,
My
bro,
goodness.
I'm enjoying that myself right now.
Jake's slightly younger.
Jake's
so he's like
very
5 times
slightly,
younger brother.
Yeah.
Correct.
So we have to get to the next topic before I perish.
Less
So,
less gray hair
It's a concern we all have every day.
every day,
We have to.
He'll just fade away.
We
to
send him
dust.
a
It's
text every
terrifying.
morning to make sure he wakes up.
every
sure I'm
hour on the
alive.
hour.
It's sweet.
I woke up that day. It's a close one, I'm telling you. So the final game that we're going to talk about this episode is Vampyr by Don't Nod, the creators of Life is Strange.
Extremely excited here.
Yeah, and something that's I find weird is that nobody's talking about this game.
It's been pushed back, and that gave a lot of people negative feelings.
Yeah, got pushed back twice, but it's coming out June 5th. So it's coming out before E3. However, I do expect we'll probably see it in some of the sizzle trailers of the companies like
Probably.
Sony and Microsoft.
No,
And
no,
This is. Go ahead. Sorry, Jake.
no, it's okay. Now, how many of you guys have actually played like Life is Strange?
I personally have not.
I've watched videos on it. It did not look like a game I would enjoy personally, but I know
It looks
was
like
very
one that
well
I would
received.
actually enjoy.
I played Life is Strange. I used to have a computer that played it very well, and it got destroyed. So I started playing, and I loved it. And it's a very heavy choice based game.
Yeah, I like
Now,
those.
now, if you keep in mind that if it's the same company, but also same company paired with Squeenix, 'cause
Right. Very different style, though.
however, I mean,
Similar consequences.
companies try to tend to stay where they are. 'Cause, I mean, let's look at BioWare for a second.
It's not.
Choices are heavy, so
Before we jump into that, though, you got to think Life is Strange was kind of like an interactive make a choice game.
Yep.
go back in
Vampyr
time.
is going to be like an RPG action game.
I
But
think
you're going to have choices.
I think that's the
This
Who
is
you're
coming
gonna eat
from
being
their
like-
website. I went to their website and I'll just read this for you that it is right on there.
Oh,
The
please
game's
do.
website. And it starts out with saying, "Cursed be the choice." London, 1918. You
Fictional
are
London.
newly turned vampire, Dr. Jonathan Reed. As a doctor, you must find a cure to save the city's flu-ravaged citizens. As a vampire, you are cursed to feed on those you vowed to heal. Will you embrace the monster within?
Yes.
Will you survive and fight against vampire hunters,
I'll eat them all.
undead skull, and other monstrosities? Use your unholy powers to manipulate and delve into the lives of those around you to decide who will be your next victim. Struggle to
of
live
them.
with your decisions.
Everybody.
Your
Everybody
actions
getting
will
eaten.
save or doom London.
London's doomed.
Be
Fucking
the
choices.
vampire. Fight and manipulate with supernatural abilities. Feed to survive. Be the savior and the stalker.
And this is
Shape London. A web of interconnected citizens. React to your decisions.
this is another game where you can go through and not kill anybody, a lot like Dishonored.
Oh, you can?
100% passive runs are possible. Much like Dishonored, I'm going to assume they're not as fun.
And
Yeah.
very difficult, considering the blood
depends
you
on the
feed
detection.
on is apparently impacts your skills and like your
Levels
leveling.
Yeah,
style.
so why do
So
that?
Go
Why
pa-
go through-
going
it was
passive
just-
would be incredibly
I assume
difficult.
there's like a low chaos ending, just like in Dishonored, so
Oh, yeah.
that's probably the best. I will get it once and then never do it again, and then I'll replay the game 9 times, slaughtering everyone.
What I
That's
hope
the fun one.
is that it's not a trophy to do that because
Kevin,
You're
it's
a
gonna be
trophy
no,
For trophy
Everyone-
whores like us, it's
Came in out of
No.
nowhere and just said, Kevin,
it's a trophy.
it's time to talk.
It's gonna happen.
there's gonna be don't kill anyone.
ending
There's
is gonna be a trophy.
a good ending trophy. There's gonna be a don't alarm.
So not only is it
anyone.
one trophy, it's probably 5.
It's gonna
4 or
be
5 trophies.
there's gonna be a Paragon and Renegade ending.
But I
really
just
hope
want
there's
to kill them all.
morality.
I just want to kill them all.
Factual, especially with such a fun combat system.
Oh, it
and
looks so
the
good.
powers.
Powers
Oh,
and
the powers
bouncing
are
around
amazing.
looks incredible.
They're doing vampires right in this game.
Yeah.
I don't like. I'm
Like
I'm gonna
modern
be playing it
Skyrim.
because I think it's
Vampires
It's,
done
it's
well.
so dark and gritty.
Yep.
I really like what I'm seeing.
I'm
in this
gonna
game.
I'm gonna like it. But the thing that I don't like about so far is the thing that they showed me the first, because you showed me it a long time
did.
ago. You showed me and I
It
didn't
was
like
several
the,
years ago. I showed it to you,
Ooh, that alpha footage was just. But that's not.
but it still
Gameplay
had
sense
promise,
hasn't
man.
been
Oh
It
yeah,
still had
definitely.
promise back
No,
then.
I agree. I think because I haven't actually. To be fair, guys, let me talk a little bit about me real quick. I don't really watch stuff I'm interested in because I tend to keep away from it. Not because I'm scared about spoilers. It's more like I want to keep most of that fresh in my mind when I play it. So that's the thing that's why when it comes to E3 and stuff, I normally don't watch it because then I get really hyped and then it hurts when I see the fall.
Oh, you mean
Scale
like
bound.
when they announced Final Fantasy VII remake and then go dark completely?
Well, to be fair,
For years.
I don't know. That's another discussion completely. TSGG.online, Final Fantasy VII. Let's talk about that a little bit later. Everyone, give us a little
comments.
bit.
Talk
Come on,
about
it.
hit us on that Twitter.
How did
sometime.
it make you feel?
GG.
How did it make you feel? But
Like a
I'm excited
big
for it.
dumpster
I
fire.
think, like I said, it's gonna be just like Life is Strange. I think, except you're not a little girl making
Right.
choices in college.
Yeah, she was in college.
I think it's gonna be
Not a little girl. She was in college.
whatever. I think
I
Well,
mean, maybe to you,
I think-
Father Time's son, but
Oh, well, there was two of them, right?
yeah,
The second one, she was young.
that's
younger.
even younger. Yeah,
It was a
that's,
prequel.
Did that just come out?
Yes.
Yeah, it just came out. They did the prequel, but then they're working on
So I wonder if they
Vampire.
were
They were working on
working on them at the
Vampire
same
behind the
time.
scenes too.
Yeah.
they were.
yeah.
The first
I-
one was very emotional, wasn't it?
Yeah,
The first
yeah.
Life is Strange.
The second one is too.
You had a lot of choices to go through where you sat there and go, oh God, do I literally let this
Well,
happen?
the end result I heard was pretty horrific. Either
Yeah.
choice. So
Actually, I heard that one of the best gaming moments ever was in Life is Strange 2. I'm not going to spoil it for anybody, but if you want to see it, it's within the first hour or so of the game, and it involves a group of characters sitting around the table. So look for that. Life is Strange 2.
Nevertheless,
it's like our own group of characters.
I think that they're gonna. I think
Father
that
Time, his son, and 2 young, strapping gentlemen.
young bucks. Hey, get off my lawn.
I
Anyways,
actually had to tell somebody that the other day, so I felt like you, Kevin.
Yeah, that's right.
It
Welcome.
was an interesting change.
It was wild.
That's right. You're getting old there,
Usually
buddy.
I've been on people's lawns. Can you?
I think that they're going to have the same choice type of mechanics where it's going to be choice heavy, and that's going to decide a lot of the fate. That's what I think.
I definitely agree.
That was it.
Obviously.
That was it. That was it. He
Definitely
just wanted to
agree
agree.
with
He
that
was just agree.
choice-heavy endings as well. I think it's going to be more Dishonored style than Life is Strange because the
I-
combat matters more,
Well, I agree.
and who you
Witcher.
kill matters more.
You're thinking Witcher.
Witcher style, where not so much.
Did
as,
you play The Witcher?
Not so much as far as the like you're saying, the Dishonored style where you have the different endings and things. But I'm thinking the
If
choices.
you played it like I did, you just strive for that threesome.
Straight
the
up.
choices have. There's so many of them. They're gonna be hugely impactful in the story, but it's gonna be more combat based. It's not gonna be. I mean, if you watch the most recent trailer, you're basically getting your ass kicked by some big guy, some big baddie, and then you use one of your vampire powers and you kill him in about 2 seconds.
Just
and
destroyed
you're
it.
just like,
Oh, that was
holy
so.
hell,
that
what
was so
just
good.
happened?
They gave me a rush, man.
He
I
was-
was
that was
ready for
great
this
power.
game.
beating the hell out of you with a hammer, and all of a sudden you kill him and he's dead and you're gone, and you're like, what did I just see? What? How do I get that power? Let
But
me
there's
make
a
sure that I
balance
get
to
that.
it because when you use your powers,
You lose
you
blood.
got to feed.
Yeah, exactly.
So I mean, that's such a
It's gonna
great
be
mechanic.
Very interesting.
I believe their pre-order bonus is a really good sword to start with. So that would
Yeah,
be
actually,
interesting to
I
look
did
at.
see there was a sword and also a pistol or hand cannon, whatever they're calling it.
Excellent.
So I'll be doing that.
You guys gonna pre-order it?
Yeah.
Oh, of
Yes.
course.
He says
All
he's
games get
hungrily. Brett's like,
We'll be
And the game sharing, you only have to buy it once.
yeah.
I'm gonna edit that out.
Being that's for the best.
what about the game sharing?
That's a well-known thing.
Is that something that they're
Okay.
wanting people
Yeah,
to do?
of course.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, why would they give
it's
you the
a-
option,
It's a thing
my
they
man?
can do.
I mean, because on Sony, you kind of got to do a workaround thing,
No,
and they
Sony
frown
isn't
upon it.
Microsoft.
you just they're both the same thing. You just set your other, like Sony taught me how to do it.
I mean, edit it
Sony
out.
doesn't want you to
feel
do it.
better about it.
No, I don't know. Yeah, you can edit it out.
I'm gonna edit that shit.
He's editing it out, boys.
It's gone. Sorry, guys, if you're not game sharing. But it'll be interesting. Okay, let me give you 5 seconds here to edit all of this. It'll be interesting to see if they do like a collector's edition because since knowing Kevin, I've always bought the game digitally. It's just easier that way for me. Then you come to Kevin's house and he's got really cool statues of everything. I mean, every collector's edition he's ever
Cloth
bought.
map.
How's that
Cloth
jealousy
maps of
there?
God of War, and now I'm just like, wow, I got to buy every collector's edition there is. And I'm sorry, Sony, I'm throwing all my money at you, but I'm sure it's really affecting you. But
I'm sure they're heartbroken.
it's just so upset, I know. But I'm gonna need all those statues you guys got.
Microsoft for most games that aren't multiplayer.
True.
I want Microsoft to get at the same level as Sony's at right now.
The thing is,
What I want them to do at E3 is come out hard with exclusives, and
That's the way to
really nail some exclusives that are going to make people get this Xbox
Console.
One X because it's the best console on the market, and
and most powerful.
There's
I don't
no
have a reason to
exclusives.
buy it. Give me a reason
Right.
because I want to buy it.
The hardest thing for them, that Microsoft, the biggest obstacle for that is why make a game Microsoft exclusive when it's cutting off a huge fan base, basically a worldwide fan base, and it's cutting it off by making it Microsoft only. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So
I think-
Microsoft outsells Sony as far as consoles in America.
Yep.
The rest of the world, they get absolutely destroyed.
Yeah.
So for a game and a developer to look at that and say, let's make a game that's only Microsoft or only Xbox, that's a financial misstep.
On that, it would be Xbox and PC because
Yeah,
Microsoft
you know,
owns
they're
both.
they're the same.
Which is what
they're
I
one
think
and the
they
same.
focus more on is the Windows, the PC gaming
Yeah.
over the console,
They do.
which as an Xbox guy bugs me, but
Yeah, it does.
I have a PlayStation as well just for that reason. So
So the pre-order bonuses for this game are the physician suit that comes with a top hat and an overcoat. It's
fancy clothes.
fancy clothing.
Well, I want to look
And then
like
you get
a,
the dragon.
Dracula, so I need that.
You get the Dragon Bane, which is a sword,
Dracula sword.
mythical founder of the Brotherhood of St. Paul,
Yep, I'm gonna get that.
known as the Dragon Hunter. And then you get Barker. It's the pistol of the second leader who has taken an oath to hunt down every last vampire.
How did we get his pistol? Who knows? Doesn't matter.
I
Pre-order.
don't know, but
That's
his,
how we got
his
it.
pistol
Pre-ordered
looks like it's got 4 barrels on it.
So I don't know if these are going to be balanced or OP. Hoping OP because I love to start OP. But
You
we'll
will,
find
but
out.
then it'll balance out. It's
That's
like
how it tends
just
to
like
go.
Zest.
pretty much how they always
Except
go.
Final Fantasy 15 Ragnarok when you got that, you
Was
were pretty
OP
much
the whole
unstoppable.
game.
So
Wait, what's Ragnarok?
that was the sword
The
where
sword
you hit
that
9999
unlimited
every
dash?
time you did the dash attack.
Oh,
And
It was
that's how I
unlimited,
beat
right?
that game
Yeah.
and all
Yeah,
the
you could just
dungeons.
constantly dash. Yeah.
so that game's coming out on June 5th, and we are all looking forward to that. So stay tuned for our review of that as well. And that's our show, everyone. Don't forget to follow us over on Twitter and also on YouTube. And head over to tsgg.online and check out our articles. You can submit your questions there for our panel. And finally, if you want to help us make better content, please consider going over to patreon.com/TSGG and become a subscriber. Thanks for listening. See you all next week.
Bye.